Hello, my friends. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. I hope everybody's well. As you can see, we have reached 20,000 subscribers. And my window jumped here. Oh, no, it's okay. Good. Good. Hi. How are you doing? So today is a kind of a special day. Reaching that mark was pretty important. Is my sound on? Yes, it is on. Okay, cool. So yeah. That is pretty awesome. And yeah, I really want to thank you for being a supporter and a subscriber and a viewer and part of my community, because it, first of all, means a lot to me. And also it's important for me that so many people really want to learn how to edit photos and how to be creative and how to, how can I say, realize their creative potential. That's really cool. Oh, I need to turn off my sound for Windows. There we go. Okay, so that is pretty awesome. Hey, Leo from Holland, how are you doing? Thank you very much for joining. Hey, Kevin, thank you very much. Thanks for joining. Herman, thank you from the Netherlands. Holland, hi, how are you doing? Twan, also from Holland. There's a lot of people from Holland today. Interesting. Richard from Poland, hi, how are you doing? Yeah, so it is really awesome to be able to do these tutorials for you. That's really nice. And also kind of learn from you through the process, what I can do for you, all the kind of problems you have that I maybe can help with, also things that I learned from you that I didn't know about. And of course, I had to educate me in some areas to see how things work, if you have questions to research that, stuff like that. So it's also very helpful and nice for me. And it was a goal for me to really build up this channel and help a lot of people and get more independence for myself. So that was also really nice that this works out. So that is really, really cool that all these things come together. It's really awesome. Hi, Vina. How are you doing? Hey, Jim from Michigan, USA. Thanks for joining. Hi. Oh, God. Pathio? Probably not. I don't know how to say that. 2 hours ago, I bought 2 packages and I'm super excited to use them. That's awesome. If you have any problems or so with that, please write me an email. From Turkey. That's cool. Hi, how are you doing? Yeah. Who else? Margaret from Vancouver Island in Canada. Hi, how are you doing? That's very nice. And also Peter from Holland. There's so many people from Holland today. It's really interesting. Okay. Really cool. How many people do we have? 41. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah. So big day today. And also, again, looking forward to look at your pictures you have posted on Facebook for the exercise of this week. So that's also very nice. And I also see, by the way, I also see all of the other pictures that are posted in the community. I'm not always reacting right away to the works, but I see them when I look through them on my phone. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's very nice. Yes, ask question. That's what the live stream is for. Go ahead. Hey, Guy from Ghent in Belgium. How are you doing? Hi, Keijo from Finland. Thank you for joining. That's pretty awesome. Good, very nice. The styles, that is a good question. Will they be working in Affinity Designer? They should, because they are basically... That's a good question. I've never tried that, actually. Joe Poole from Sweden. Hi, thanks for joining. That is a good question. I will have a look at that. 1 second. Where do I have Designer? There it is. Does Designer have styles? If it has styles, it should technically work, because Designer and Affinity Photo are actually the same program. So technically, yes, it has styles. So it should work. Yeah. And they are the styles, the default styles that are in here. They look the same as what you get in an Affinity Photo. So I would say that should work just fine. So let's see, the layer effects, they are Gaussian blur and outer shadow, outer glow, inner glow, outline, 3D, bevel, color overlay, gradient overlay. So that's the same effects as you have in Affinity Photo. Because none of them are basically pixel effects. Even Gaussian blur is just like blurring is a visual effect. It's not a pixel effect. So you can render a blur onto a vector or a curve. That's no problem. All right. So that should be no problem actually. But it doesn't work on iPad because iPad doesn't. I don't think iPad has the ability to import gradient palettes or styles. So that's a bit of a downside. I've wrote them about it. I hope they will upgrade that soon. Hey Martin from Germany, thanks for joining. Hey Andreas from Aachen, thank you very much for joining. Sabine, hi, also long-time viewer, thank you very much. That's awesome. Yeah, thank you very much for joining. Like I said, special stream today, 20,000 subscribers. That's pretty awesome to reach that goal. Yeah, it's really nice to have that, and like to have a bigger community, to speak to more people, to help to educate more people, stuff like that, inspire more people, hopefully also. That is also very nice. Yeah. Thank you. By the way, how do you pronounce your name? Is it Patheo? No, I don't think. It's like, because this looks like Russian, so probably the P is an R, right? It's like something with R. I don't know. Hi, Harry from India. How are you doing? Okay. Very nice. Okay. Ratep. Ah, there you go. You see, so the P is an R. Interesting. Ratep. Okay, cool. Hey, Quentin. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. How do from Manchester? John, hey. John from Manchester. Thanks for joining. Hi, Kelly. Thank you. Ratep Kenzo. Okay, cool. Interesting name. Yeah. I try to learn, like, with the social isolation, staying at home, I focus more on learning some stuff. So I try to learn some new languages. Not Russian necessarily at the moment. I think that's Russian. I'm not sure. But I'm freshening up my Spanish, which I'm really surprised that I have remembered so much. I haven't learned for a year, but I still remember most of the words, which is very surprising. And then I want to learn Chinese a little bit, which is a very nice language I figured out. And it's so interesting how they do things, how they pronounce things, because, you know, they have these signs and one sign is a full word. And so the combinations are kind of interesting when you have the direct translation. I think, for example, oh God, what do you see? What do you say when you drink something in English? You say, what do you actually say? I don't know. What do you say in English? Cheers? You say cheers. I think you say cheers. And in Chinese, it's ganbai or ganbei. I think it's pronounced ganbei. And ganbei means dry cup, which is interesting. Dry cup. So it's basically like drink up. So I think that's the meaning. So you have dry cup after that. That's really interesting. Yeah. Wait. Hi, Rishabh from India. Hi, Yassel. It's a way to do it. Okay. Speak Russian, Arabic, English, and Turkish. That's awesome. That's really nice. Hey, Jan. How are you doing? Guten Abend. Oh, that's like, it's so nice that, oh God. What's the English word for the language of the Netherlands? In German you say Holländisch, but in English I don't say. You don't say Hollandaise. That's a sauce. I don't know what you say to that language in English, actually. It's really interesting. But the words are basically the same like in German, where you say, the pronunciation is a little bit different, but you say Guten Abend, and there you say Guten Abend, I guess. So it's very much the same. It's really interesting. I think a lot of the people from Netherlands understand German because it's so similar, but the other way around, it's a bit more complicated, I think. Yeah. You should try Arabic. Arabic is also a very nice language. Yeah. Hi, Quentin. Dutch. Oh, Dutch. Of course, it's called Dutch. I really have to read the history of that country. It's so strange. So the country is called Holland or Netherlands, but the language is Dutch. So you're probably also the Dutch. So I don't know where that comes from, these 3 different names for the countries. But it's also interesting with the UK, where you have England, UK, Great Britain, and the Commonwealth, which are all of them completely different. So you're basically living in one country, but you're part of 4 different kinds of country or stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because the UK and England is not the same thing, and also Great Britain and the UK is not the same thing. So it's really interesting. Yeah. But everybody seems to know that it's Dutch apart from me. That's really interesting. Okay, that's funny. Wow, I'm sweating a little bit. Sorry. There's also Flemish. Oh, wow. Okay. Flemish or Flemish? I think it's Flemish. I don't know. Dutch, Netherlands. Oh, really? Dutch from Deutsch? Really? That's interesting. Uh-huh. Okay. You know what's also interesting when you think about the European history and you think about the country names? You have the Germans, but in Germany we have a part which is called Franken. And when you think about the Franks, which is Frankreich, which is France, it's basically connected to that part in Germany, you know, because we have like the Franks and the how do I say, in Germany, France is called the country of the Franks, basically, and England is wait, what is that again? They are the Anglo-Saxons, and we have a part in Germany which are the Saxons. So also kind of connected. So it's really interesting. There's a lot of countries kind of have names that are also inside of Germany. So that's really interesting. Yeah. Holland? Oh, really? Holland is a part of Netherlands? I didn't know that. My God. I really need to brush up on my history of that part of the country, basically. Interesting. I had no idea about that. I thought it's the same thing. I think most people think it's the same thing. We have North and South Holland. Really interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah. Should we go maybe to look at the pictures on Facebook? Not that the people get bored when I talk about countries and stuff, because it doesn't really have to do much with photography. So bit off topic right now. And my giant cup is back, by the way. Okay, let's switch over to Facebook. Where's there is work live. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Good. So to talk a little bit more about photography here. This week, the exercise was to use just one light source and be experimental with that. Try to see what you can create with that. And you can use, of course, Affinity Photo and plugins inside of there to edit that if you want to. And you can post up to 3 photos. And this time I was a bit more strict about only posting works you have created for that exercise. So a bit less pictures have been posted this week. But it's okay, because it's really important that you take the pictures for the exercise and not just select pictures from the past that fit the exercise, because if you do a process with an exercise in mind, you can really focus on what you're doing at that moment, and you can experiment with this aspect of photography and also of editing the pictures afterwards under this kind of specific aspect, which is different from just selecting a picture from the past that you have taken, but you haven't taken it with this kind of specific task in mind. Through an exercise, you always try to train a certain kind of thing in there. I've prepared again like a Pinterest board. So there are some examples in here. You can see week 17 exercises. By the way, if you didn't know, I also have a website. I'm not sure if there's too much on there. I can show you real quick. Let's have a look at that also. Looks like that. And there's the connection to all my different pages that I have. And yeah, there's always the latest video. And this has to be updated because I think, is this the last but one pack, right? The last one was light leaks. So yeah, they have to be a little bit updated. Okay, I basically created this so people can have one page where they can find all of the things that I create, rather than going to all the different kind of pages all the time. All right, so you can see here some interesting things. Someone asked me how some of them are created. For example, this effect here, and I think so. There could be like two possibilities of what I think there could be two possibilities. Maybe there are more, but either the guy had a little LED light that he was moving around with the hand while doing a long time exposure, or what also could be is because this looks a bit three-dimensional. It could be an aluminium wire and then it's lighted from below, but I don't think so, because if you look here at these parts, I don't know if can I make this? I can make it bigger. Oh, no, it could also be like a plastic wire, because this is translucent. You can see the back side of the bend on the other side. So maybe it's a plastic wire and then it's lighted from below or above, because you have some highlights here. So there's coming some light from above. But this looks like there's some light down here, so it's interesting. I'm not sure, actually. Also, an LED could be like light painting. Like this, for example, here's light painting, where light painting is kind of easy. You just put your camera on a tripod, set it to manual, and then set it to a long time exposure. And then you just go here with a light and paint in what you want to paint. The hardest thing is that you can't really see where you're moving. So all these kind of shapes are mostly kind of rough to draw something out. And then the rest you can see, for example, this light came from the back, because you have here some highlights on the front, but not so much light on the back. But it is a pretty cool effect. You can do some really amazing things with that. Also here, for example, you have this is light painting also. Putting the guitar on probably the bed or something, and then going with a light just around the outside shapes while doing a long time exposure. So that's a pretty cool trick. You can do a lot of things with that. It's really interesting. This is probably also light painting, or again a wire, I'm not sure. But the way these lines are bent, it looks more like it's painted with the hand, because it's a little bit shaky and squiggly. I don't think that's a wire. Could be both, I don't know. And of course you can use light from behind, which is used very nicely in this case. Also here, that's a pretty cool case. Putting the light behind a thin slice of a lemon. I think this is probably edited afterwards to get this kind of extreme yellow in the picture, because you can see the light from behind. It's a white light. I don't think a lemon would have naturally that extreme of a green when it's hit with white light from the back, but maybe it is. I don't know, because long time exposure can also intensify the color. So there's a lot of interesting pictures here. Okay, let's go back to the Facebook exercise. Oh, by the way, again, I should post the links here. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's the same link, just so you see it easier. Yeah, Sabine is again very busy taking part of these. It's just really cool. I think she has been part of it every time of these exercises, so that's pretty cool. It's like this. Are these the bottles that come with this kind of soda stream thing? Because I really recognize this kind of shape. I've seen this pretty often. Some kind of Brent bottle is that. I think it's from Soda Stream, I'm not sure. There you can see the bubbles going up and the light and all this kind of light effects, kind of rainbow effects that you get through the glass and through the water with the light. So that's pretty cool. That's very nice. It's a very nice photo. And is it also edited? I don't know. It looks a little bit like something was done with it, because you have these kind of sharp edges here. And it looks a little bit like you use when you use edge finding in Affinity Photo, but not really, because you don't have these kind of lines and stuff. So yeah, it could be. But it's really cool. It's a really interesting picture and kind of abstract also. It's very nice when you go beyond what you photograph and it becomes just more like a pattern or a rhythm or something interesting you can find in there. So that's a really interesting picture. Okay, so let's go to the next picture from Sabine. In this, I'm not sure what it actually is, by the way. I mean, this apparently is glass, but is this a shadow? It's painted on the surface of the glass or something like that. I don't know, but it's really interesting. It looks like a theater scene, like this Asian kind of shadow puppet theater. So that's pretty interesting. It's very nice. Also with these kind of gradients you have here in the glass, it's very nice. You can see you can do a lot of interesting things with just one light. And also with shadows, you can create cool things because you can build up things through shadow. You probably have seen also artworks where they really master this and they like hang up all kinds of different things of kind of absurd shapes. And then you look at the shadow and it's, I don't know, a guy playing a trumpet or something like that from the shadow because you kind of paint with the shadows. You can do some really cool things with that. So that's a really nice idea and very nice execution. Also the colors are very nice, very warm. So that's pretty cool. Oh, by the way, I've forgotten to read the text. One more, with sunlight in my window is a figure of an Indian goddess and makes a shadow on the plant pot. Aha, okay. I should have read the text and then we understand what that is. Oh, so the shadow is on the outside. So this is coming from the other side. I thought this is on the inside and it's translucent glass. And you see the shadow from the inside coming out, but this is probably on the outside. That's cool, interesting. I cleaned the background and colored with NIK Collection. Ah, okay. So these colors up here are not part of the glass. That's really interesting. That's cool. Interesting. Yeah, when you look a little bit closer, you can also see that the shadow is too warm, too reddish. So you can see that this is also colored in a little bit. Interesting, really cool. Let's look at the text from the other one. What is this? A sparkling water, a bottle of sparkling water, 5 similar photos. I hope it is okay. And 1 flashlight. 5 similar photos? So this is like a HDR editing maybe afterwards, because this also can have these kind of strange color effects. Interesting. Okay. Nice. Yeah, it's okay. Like, of course, you can do a lot of different photos, then combine them afterwards. You don't have to just take one picture. This is why I say here, post up to 3 photos. I meant to write 3 photo works. So it doesn't have to be an individual picture. You can do more with just one picture. So here's another one, very nice. From Mike, thank you very much. 1 light shot from a little Buddha figure. That's very cool. And that's also one of the cool things with just 1 light is that you can really build up the surface and also the structure of the surface. You can bring out the detail very nicely, because on a lot of like, especially when you have these rounded uneven surfaces, the light is hitting from a very narrow angle to the surface and creates these longer shadows that really give you the structure of the surface. While we can see where it hits head on, like here on the arm, you don't really see any of that kind of structure, or down here on the belly, but on the edge of the head where it is really coming from a very low angle onto the surface, you have these nice surface structures, and you can like really have very nice details in here. And the combination of these overexposed areas with these underexposed areas and the structure in the middle gives this kind of very expressive picture. So with just 1 light source, you can do really nice expressive things. It's very nice, especially also afterwards with editing. You can bring out a lot more of this kind of things that are going on, the structure and composition that's in the picture. So that's pretty cool. All right. There's another one from Kevin. Very nice. Thank you very much. Did I miss one? No, that's okay. So there's Kevin. I cut slots in a sheet of paper. Oh, really? Oh, okay. And handled it in front of the light to create a film noir film type look. That is interesting. I did not think about that, because I think you have one of these what are they called? Like shades that you put in front of your window and they have these kind of plastic or aluminum stripes. I thought that's that. Interesting. So this is paper cuts. Okay. That worked out really great. Also, the shadow is very nice here. It's really, really interesting. Very nice work. I also like the colors, very subtle colors. It always looks like black and white, but you can see there's a bit of color in there. It gives it more of a story and a bit of more softness through the colors. That's very nice. Really cool picture. Yeah, I also like how how can I say, the shadow brings out more detail from the object you're looking at, because you see here the face just from the front and doesn't really give you much of the depth of the nose and the jaw and stuff like that. But then from the side, you can see that there's a lot of detail in the head. It's not just like flat or short or anything. So you get more information about this kind of object. It's really cool. It's really interesting. And you can also see here, for example, with you have the object and the shadow, that you can basically also create a story through that if you work more with that. For example, here you can see, like, on the left you have this animal, and then on the right side the shadow, but it's looking away from the original. So it could be like the shadow is like how can I say, oh god, what's the English word? Is angry. The shadow is angry with you, stuff like that. So you can give the shadow its own life. You can do these kind of things with like placing it in the right way, or taking two pictures where the shadow is different than the original, stuff like that. So maybe that could be the next exercise, where we do two exposures, either with a reflection or with the shadow. That could be a really cool exercise. You can do a lot of cool things with that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Thank you, Kevin, for posting the picture. It's very nice. And also the interaction with the other people in the community is also very nice. Yeah. All right. We have some more pictures. Okay, cool. So Guy also posted a picture. Very nice. What could this be? One light lower left corner inside. What? One light lower left corner inside. I'm not sure what that part means of the text. But it's a very nice picture. Very nice, like these industrial details also. It's very nice. And to bring out, as you can see here, again, you bring out the surface structure of the aluminum. It's a little bit brushed and all these kind of things. And also the interesting thing about industrial elements is that you have this kind of repetition of things that are basically exactly the same, but they repeat again and again. And this can create really interesting structures that you wouldn't find in another way, like in the nature or stuff like that. But this is the perfect like kind of opportunity to work with abstract patterns, basically, and has this kind of sci-fi look also, so you can do really interesting things. And this is a good example for that. It's very nice. Also, this kind of gradient of light from here very bright to getting darker over here is pretty cool. I really like that. And it might be a drying tumbler, but I'm not sure, because it has this kind of like paper or stuff behind here. So I don't have a drying tumbler. I don't know. Yeah, so that is pretty cool. Very nice. Really interesting. Yeah. I did something similar, by the way, when we look at my pictures. Oh, did I? Yeah, I chose one of those. Okay, cool. So it's very nice. All right, let's go on to the next picture. This is by Juanita. I tried playing. Okay, I tried playing with the live light filter. My attempt was to capture the light and the reflection, still learning. So if I understand this right, the light, so the single light source here is created completely digitally in Affinity Photo. And this is like it's like a flower, and then you created the reflection of a flower. And all this kind of light is not on the original picture. Like there is some light of the original picture, but that the single light source is created in Affinity Photo, if I understand that correctly. By the way, I should look at the chat a little bit. 1 second, and then we come back to your picture. Did someone write something? One right there, blinds. Yeah, blinds. That's the name of these things. Yeah. Photos or logos, or can you your works to you? Only photos, basically, because the channel is around photo editing and photo tutorials, Philip. Yeah, thank you also for joining from Poland. That's very nice. I sent the original photo on Facebook, Sabine. The original photo on Facebook? What original photo? You also posted outside of the thread or so? I don't know. It's actually a drying tumble. Okay, that's cool to know. Good. Okay, so let's go back. Sorry, so you, Anita. Sorry, let's go back to that picture. So I didn't know that this is all created in digital. So that's kind of cool. It's pretty cool. It's interesting. It's not exactly what I wanted to do with the exercise, because it was more about like taking the picture and working with light and shadow from one source, and afterwards also including the editing in the process. Maybe I should do more like weekly exercises that have to do with editing rather with taking pictures. That might also be a good idea. Yeah, I have to think about that. But this is still pretty cool. It's very interesting. I'm kind of confused why. So, for example, here the reflection is like has more detail and is sharper than the original flower, which I guess you also did in editing. So it's nice here, for example, that this is fading out. This is what some people forget, that reflection, like you get more of a reflection effect when you fade this out a little bit, so you see less of the picture, the more distance it gets from the upper part of the object that is reflecting. Of course, like probably in a real reflection in a lake or in a mirror or stuff like that, you would still see the full object. But if you look, for example, at advertisements from, let's say, I don't know, for smartphones from Apple or stuff like that, they always use this kind of fading effect because it makes it look, for some reason, a lot more like a reflection. So that's pretty cool. One other thing is, of course, artistically you can do whatever you want. So one thing that stands out a little bit to me is that the raindrops, they fall over all the picture. They don't, at no point they do hit the surface of the reflective surface here, if you know, like the mirror or whatever the surface is in your imagination. So they just fall through. They are like a texture on the picture, which can also be possible in an artistic creation. I'm not saying you can't do that, but for realism reasons, they should hit somewhere the surface, but that then would be a lot more work intense to create that, and you would have to find water splashes that have this kind of perspective to them to integrate that. So that would be a lot more work to do. But it's a cool work. It's very nice work. Okay. So again, thank you very much for posting that. Let's go to the next one. Is there more? I will refresh real quick this post here, so we see if someone else posted it. It's like the deadline was like before the start of the stream, but anyways. So that's also an interesting picture. Thank you, Linda. I think it's also missing a little bit the exercise about the photo part. But from the editing standpoint, this is interesting to look at from what you should do differently. Because in this case, I think it's kind of an easy fix, because you can see that, like not an easy fix in the sense of what you can do in the software, but from taking the picture. So you can see here, the kit has light coming from left on right on the face, but the face itself is in shadow. And also the arms are bright, but the shirt is in shadow. So when you have the light coming from the hands outward towards the face, it's basically like you're holding a flashlight below your face, or you could also use a cell phone or a smartphone and then replace it afterwards. So that could be a really interesting effect to do that. And I think I posted something like that in the group, by the way. So yeah, that's if you want to do this again to play around with that, have the kid hold a flashlight and the light is going into the face, so the arms are dark and the face is bright and the sides of the face are like it's mostly bright, but then the sides are dark because they are in shadow. And then you can still put in these digital effects afterwards, so you can make it so you don't really see the flashlight in the hands. You could, like how can I say, like when you have it like this, like with the pen, the flashlight is sticking out and below, and then you can just edit the lower part out. It's dark anyways down there, and then you can just have the light effects coming from the hand. So that should be a pretty easy effect to do. By the way, I just reminded I have posted something like that as a photo effect. 1 second if I find that. It might be too dark for the stream. There it is. So this is with my flatmate, and let's show just the picture. Oh wow, that's, how big is that? Okay, let's not do that. So like this. So what she's doing basically is she has an open book in her hand, and then she has her iPad in there, and we set it to blue. And no, I think it's a Kindle. Anyways, she has this tablet thing in there. It's set to blue. And then you see the light coming up to her face. And then I edited a little bit in Affinity Photo, and they also added these glowing lights and made the background a little bit darker. Like outside here, these windows were too bright in the dark. So I edited that. But that's kind of an easy effect. It's probably, I'm not sure if you can see it well on the stream because it's kind of a dark picture, and streaming tends to make pictures a little bit darker. But putting something like a light, especially like a smartphone or a tablet, into a book or anything else and turning it on, and you can just select a light background of any kind of color and have this color shine up to you. That's a really nice, easy effect to do. So that's a pretty cool, nice, easy thing. All right, let's have a look at the chat. And then I will also show you what I've done. What did the people say? I would like editing exercises. Yeah, so I will try to think more about editing exercises. Yeah, I think it's also possible, but because the thing is I have to find examples on Pinterest that show that, and the exercise has to be simple enough so people understand what I mean. And with photographing, it's a bit easier to kind of think of, okay, one light source, or yeah, just reflection, stuff like that. But I will think about it and try to figure that out. By the way, if you didn't know, I do a mini live stream in my Facebook group Mondays, and there I also announce, 5 people want to join, that's cool. I announce the topic afterwards, and I also talk about other things, like not just photo editing. Where's the stream, by the way? So you see, people are posting a lot of cool pictures here. You can comment on that. You can ask the people what they are doing, stuff like that. This, by the way, looks very much like it was created with Topaz, which is another kind of editing software that's, I think, more specialized in these kind of crazy artistic effects that look really cool, but the plugins are built to create these kind of effects. So you can do some really cool stuff if you like this kind of more artistic looking or artificial looking pictures. Topaz Labs is an interesting software to look at. There's some funny things in here. Okay, where's my live stream? Wait a second. I have to find the video afterwards. Oh, I can just click on video. I'm an idiot. There we go. Video, there we go. Oh, by the way, I'm not sure if you have seen that. That's my Easter message. That's a filter you can use. Yeah, Easter message. There we go. Okay, so here I'm talking. This was a longer one. I was talking for 36 minutes. What was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about the original and copy in photography, and is there original, and like the different philosophies behind these kind of things. What is like genuine art? And this was also about the like stealing ideas, stuff like that, or like, can you be inspired? How close can you be to an original work? All these kind of things. Should you look at other people, get inspired by them, just take their ideas, or like recreate them? All these kind of things. They have different purposes, and a lot of artistic works over the ages, of course, have like taken notes from other artists, be inspired by them, also like just copy complete parts of pictures and put it into something else to make a message. Because the main thing is, what are you actually doing with your art? What are you actually saying with that? And if the message kind of makes it a good artwork, you can basically do whatever you want. There isn't really like I think it falls under the fair use rule. which is probably more applicable the more famous you are, to be honest. I think like if you're a world star and then you just use something from Disney, they are gonna let it slide probably. But if you're a small artist with not much audience, there's maybe more of a problem, stuff like that, as you know. Like, yeah, it's like the laws are not the same for everybody, as you know. So the more impact you have, the more like, yeah, leverage you have these kind of situations. If you think about Andy Warhol, he used a lot of like branded things just right out of the, I mean, he recreated them. It's not just the original. It didn't just like say, okay, here I copy a logo from another company. He actually recreated these things, but still, you know, it would still be copyright, but because it's a good artistic message and it's important for art, there is the case that this is a genuine artistic message and that's genuine artistic work that doesn't infringe on this kind of copyright. And also it has to be in the same area. Like if you sell art and they sell tomato soup, you're not really influencing their market because you're not selling tomato soup. So they don't really have a loss from that, you know, it's not influencing them. Okay, not look at that. Are you always drawn to this kind of, you see up here and then you immediately click without thinking? Oh, by the way, I want to show you something before we start to edit the Instagram picture, because you can see here I took this from Canva actually, and right now I'm seeing this is not really centered. Is it centered? It looks like it's a little bit off to the left, or is it just how Photoshop is displaying it? I don't know. But what I wanted to show you is like if you have this and then you want to create the banner like down here, it's a long banner, which I also messed up a little bit. It's not completely centered, but anyways, to show you a little trick. Oh, and then I show you the pictures I created for the exercise. Sorry, I'm all over the place again. So if you have to do that, like for a customer or something, you can do a really easy thing, and that is that you take the graphic that you need, like you place this in here. Wait a second, where's my downloads? There you go, this. So you have this, customer says, yeah, I need this, but stretch it long. But you can't go like this because it looks crazy if you go like this, doesn't really look good. So the simplest thing you can do is you just go like this. Maybe you can also make it a little smaller if you want to, and then you copy it to the other side, and then you just create a rectangle, and you sample the color, and you're done. That's it. This is how you just change the shape from like, this is again not really lined up here as I'm seeing right now. So let's line this up, apply, and there you go. Let's center this also. And you have like a long banner version without doing any kind of intense work on it or stuff like that. And then you can just fill it with content. So that's a pretty easy trick to get this into another shape. Yeah, just like that. So I just wanted to show you that because like you have all these kind of little tricks and workarounds to adapt things to all these kind of social media sizes. And you might go a really complicated route, but you just copy it and then overlay it with this kind of rectangle, and that's it. All right, let's have a look at the chat and then we look at my pictures. Smart and simple solution, which is also important because you're working, you're paid by the hour, so you have to find a good kind of how can you make it work without spending too much kind of time on it, which actually when you get paid by the hour, working longer makes more sense. But you're like, how can I say, you make out a fixed rate, not a fixed rate, but I say, okay, this takes this long, but if you take longer, it's basically your problem. So like, especially if you don't know what you're doing, and this is why you take longer. If you know what you're doing, but it takes longer because it's just a bigger project, and of course you can like how do I say, ask the customer to say, hey, this just takes longer than it's we expected. Which, by the way, I learned in Taiwan, it's not like that. If you work for it, this is really crazy. I've never heard this in my life. If you work for a company, your boss asks, how long does this take? and you say, I think it takes 10 hours. And then you look at the project and you're like, it's 20 hours. I can't do this in 10 hours. But that's your problem. You're not getting paid for 20 hours then, even if you work in the company. That's really strange. I've never heard that. Because normally you get paid for what you work, but this is really, really interesting. Renegotiate. That's the thing. Yes, renegotiate. Okay. Hey, Miguel from Barcelona. How you doing? Very nice. I love your city, by the way. Really cool. Very nice. By the way, I was there once in my life, and I think there is like a fountain where you can drink from, and there is a plaque, and it says when you drink from this fountain, you will stay in Barcelona. You will fall in love with Barcelona. And I really like. I don't know. I'm really thinking about maybe I should live there or something like that, because it's such a nice city, and I like the atmosphere and the energy and everything about the city. It's really nice, really cool, very nice. Yeah, especially when you go a little bit from the tourist areas where like, and this is like, I don't know, this is so interesting about people, how the dynamic of groups, basically. So you have some streets and there are millions of people, like it's a festival or something. But then you go one street further and there's nobody, nothing, it's empty. There's nobody in the street. So it's like, what the hell is going on, you know? It's really strange. Yeah. Oh God. Okay, wow. Barcelos, Portugal. Okay, interesting. So I completely mixed that up. Okay, interesting. I should read the full line before I say something. Okay, that's interesting. I hope this wasn't offending or something to mix you up. I think you have like a little bit of fighting going. Not fighting, but not the biggest laugh between each other, I think. Is that right? I'm not sure. Yeah. Interesting. Please. My question. That was in your video color replacement brush. Can you post the question here again? Because it's kind of, it doesn't like, it's not the best idea that I go through all the comments right now of that one video. So please post it here again. I hope it does have to do with the tool or something like that. All right. Okay. What else? Sorry. Let's read this. Might I suggest you pronounce the O in copy more like the O in Oldenburg? It's a short O and not a long O like in pronounce. Like copy. Let's check that. Let me see. Copy. Okay, let's turn on the sound here. Wait, we have to turn on the sound here too.
To copy something.
Copy, okay.
To copy something.
To copy something.
To copy something.
To copy something.
They are all saying to copy something, not to copy something?
To copy something.
Interesting.
To copy somebody or something.
To copy something, to copy something.
To copy something.
It's all the same. To copy something. Not copy? Like you cope with something. To copy something. Okay, interesting. Yeah. I also people tell me I pronounce paste wrong. It's not paste like the toothpaste. It's something, you say something else, right? Let's see. Paste.
To paste.
No, it's paste. It's paste.
To paste.
To paste.
To paste.
To paste.
To paste.
To paste.
Paste. Yeah, paste. And that this one
Paste.
is also paste.
To paste.
Paste.
It's the same thing. It's paste. It's paste. Okay. And the other is copy. Not copy, copy. Okay. All right. Okay. Good. Learned something new. I hope I remember that. What did we want to do? Oh, yeah. We wanted to, first of all, turn off the sound here again. So there we go. All right. Let's look at the pictures that I've created. Let's close this one. We don't need that anymore. Okay. So again, also by the way, I just went to my bathroom and I put on this light here on my head because I only had like, I had one of the things in my hand and then also my camera. So I had this, like the light source actually on my head. I didn't use a tripod or anything because I just wanted to do the pictures and like be more flexible with those. So light source on the head, taking pictures and having the object in your hand. So in the dark bathroom. So this is my Ganesha. Is it Ganesha? I think it's Ganesha sculpture. And I really like how this turned out also with the effect. This is just done with NIK color effect. No, sorry, the NIK, what are they called again? NIK Collection Silver Effects Pro. This is actually one of the presets, but I really liked how this turned out. So it's very nice. Kind of mythical of this kind of coming out of the darkness and having this hand gesture towards you. It's kind of, it has some kind of a personal touch somehow. I don't know. Kind of enjoy this picture. Okay, what else? The other ones are, this one is really interesting. Do I have it here? No. This is just a paper roll, like where you have your kitchen paper towels on it. This is the inside of the roll, and I just took a picture through the inside. And then on the other side, I look down from the other side and I do it. I stick the lens on one side and I look through it from the other side, so the light is coming from my head. But these details, and when you have this, you go so close to the surface that you have this, it starts to become really big, like this is kind of a cave or something. Artificial cave, of course, but this looks really interesting, I think. Also, it looks like, because of the black and white editing, it looks like it's wet somehow. So this looks a little bit like in the Alien movies where they go through these kind of cave things in the starship. So that's really interesting. Okay, next one is this, which is just one of these kitchen grinders, also photographed from the inside with a little light from the outside. And you have this kind of plastic handle here, which is like the light shines through. So you get this white light from my head and also the green lights from the plastic handle, and then you get all these kind of reflections on the side and this kind of industrial effect, like I said before, with these kind of repetitions, which makes it also look this kind of sci-fi thing, a little bit of spaceshipy kind of vibe to it. So that's pretty interesting. All right, next one is this one here again with the light. And this light is kind of, I tried to set it to a low setting, but it was kind of too strong apparently for the sensor. This is taken with my smartphone because you then get these kind of wide angle kind of things, and it made these kind of stripes. So that's not ideal. Either this comes from the sensor of the camera or it comes from the light, could also be, because this is an LED light. So what could happen here is that the LED light has a refresh rate. It's flickering, basically, you can't see it, but also the camera has a refresh rate. And then if they overlap, the sensor is like reading parts of the picture, and at the moment they are brighter, and then it's reading another part, but the light is turned off at that moment. So in another height, and then the picture is darker at that moment, and then it gets lighter again, so you get these stripes. That could also be some kind of other error with the sensor. I'm not sure what it is, but it looks interesting. Also like these kind of spirals that are in this kind of how can I say, paper tube that you have inside of your kitchen paper roll. I'm not actually sure why they cut it like that. It has to do something with production, but it looks really cool. Okay, so those are my pictures for the exercise with one light source, which I completely ripped from the internet, the idea. There is, by the way, I want to suggest to you a group. It's called Low Budget Photo Ideas. Low Budget Shooting Ideas. Oh, it's a German group. Okay, and there you have a lot of interesting ideas in here. Whoops. Okay, maybe not scroll anymore. I'm not sure what else is coming here, but one of those is these ideas with the roll from the kitchen towels and stuff like that. So that's pretty nice. Okay, good. Let's post this in the group chat. Let's see if the other guy has posted the question in the meantime. So this is the group with low budget ideas. It's apparently in German, but you don't have to post like text or something. The pictures are enough to get inspired, so it's pretty cool. You can join there if you want. All right. With this method, can we? It's green. Let's see. Most people left. There we go. Can you see me again? Hello. I think. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. Most people left. Maybe they come back. I hope you can see me again. Now it says excellent connection. I have like my internet drops out for some seconds sometime. It's really annoying. Okay, so most people are gone. Maybe they come back. That is super annoying. Okay, but the first time that happened during a stream, so that's pretty good. I don't know where it broke off. What's the last thing you've seen? I showed this group with the photo ideas. 1 second, pop out the chat. There we go. I don't think I was offline for too long. Lost, same, no stream. But there is no timer here. Doesn't show the time code. Can I show the time code? Oh, toggle timestamps. There we go. All right. 75. So it was out like for 2 minutes or something. Yeah, for 1 minute. Okay, that's good. That's okay. So for 1 minute, no internet. Have you seen the one where I show you the group? I have this link here. It's in the chat, but maybe I post it again so you can see the group link, because that's a nice group to get some nice photo ideas. So let's post this here. Okay. Okay, I see. You were reading the question. Okay, that's good. So I would simply try if that works or not. Like I said, the thing is that this color replacement brush, it only like changes the hue, but not the saturation and not the brightness or darkness of the color. So it might not look great, but you can try. We can try right now, actually. Why not? Let's see. So, and also, wait a second. It picks a color. Maybe, let's see. Okay, so we take Unsplash. Let's take a picture with the sky. You probably want to adjust the sky. I think I did a tutorial about that. By the way, if you don't know that, if you go to my channel, there is here, you have this icon here, which is very hidden. And when you click on that, you can actually search. I wish they would put it like that so people can see the word search. And there you can enter, for example, colors and sky and see. I think I did a video about that. So this is how to get more dramatic colors, how to replace the sky. Light and colors. Landscape. I think I did a video on how to copy the color styles. Wait, let's transfer. No, let's just go color. I'm pretty sure I did a video about that. Frame. I can't find it right now. Anyways, let's look at if this works or not. So let's go landscape. Okay, so here we have a sky. I will just copy that. It's not about the resolution, so that doesn't matter too much. And then let's take another picture with another sky. Let's say the violet sky. I mean, the problem here is you don't want to just change the sky color, because the sky color, of course, has influence on the rest of the picture. You can't have a violet sky and then the violet is not in the rest of the picture. That would look strange. So you would basically adjust the rest of the picture anyways. So let's see. We take this brush, color replacement, and then we pick the color from here basically, like that. I mean, like I said, the brightness doesn't change anything. It's just the color. So there we go. And now if I go to this, I have to rasterize. It doesn't work on image. Let's duplicate this. So we have the original still. And then, yeah, let's sample continuously. Tolerance, let's set this a little bit lower maybe. Oh no, that's not, that's, tolerance is over here. Let's make this a little bit higher. Let's go with 30. So, okay, the brush is a little bit too big. Right now you can see it goes a little bit into the landscape because it's sampling from there. But, I mean, yeah, technically. Let's do this again. Let's just do the upper part here. And then go lower. And smaller. Yeah, I would say technically you can basically do it like that, right? And as you can see, like as it goes brighter in the picture, also the replacement goes brighter. So that's a pretty interesting thing about this brush. So let's go like that. It's not super perfect, but I mean, better than before. So yeah, I mean, it applied basically the violet sky from one picture to the other. So, but you can see it doesn't really look good because now the rest of the picture isn't under the impact of the violet sky. So you want to change all of the picture, not just the sky with the colors. So that's probably a downside. By the way, one thing someone told me in the comments is that when you use the adjustment for recolor, because I said, well, this doesn't really take into account the saturation and the brightness and everything looks strange. And he said you can do it if you set the blend mode to hue. And this seems to work. As you can see here, this only replaces the hue now, but doesn't replace the saturation or the brightness. So that's pretty interesting. So you can see the sky, the original sky is still retaining this kind of nice gradient, and mostly it looks kind of natural. Of course, water and stuff like that, we know it doesn't look like that pink and stuff. But on the sky and stuff, the gradient that's there, that is actually pretty good. So that seems to work if you go with hue. And so you don't actually, in that case, need the color replacement brush. You can just like go with this, and then you could, for example, now select the recolor adjustment. Am I still live? Yes, I'm a bit worried now. And then you invert it so it's not visible anywhere. And then you just take the normal brush and set it to black, and you can just paint it in. Which doesn't work, right? You set it to white, sorry, because yeah, there you go. And this completely doesn't work for some reason right now. What is going on? Oh, it switched to yellow for some reason. Okay, let's turn it back to pink. And you can see now I can paint this in. Let's make this a little bit bigger. I make it messy right now, but it doesn't matter. I'm just showing you like you can do this more precisely. You just paint it in where you need it. And then basically you have the same thing, but you have the benefit, and this is what you can't do with the color replacement brush, is that you now go in here and say, oh yeah, but I decided I wanted to have it red instead, or I want to have a yellow sky or something like that. And you can do that with this kind of adjustment. So that's probably a little bit better in this kind of sense if you want to edit it afterwards. By the way, now if we desaturate it, You can see this doesn't have an effect. It has an effect if you go completely desaturated, because then it's not actually in color anymore. It doesn't have any hue because it's gray, but that's the only difference. If you go a little bit higher, it goes back into it, you know, like this. It's almost desaturated, but still the same color. It's fully saturated, still the same color, because it doesn't take saturation into account. All right, good. So that is kind of answered, I would say. I have a video. Let's go back to my channel real quick. Let's enter mood here. I have this one, fixing light mood. So there is, you can see where I go from this kind of light mood to this kind of light mood. And this also takes into consideration the ambient light. So you might want to look at that. It's an older video from 2018. Okay, interesting. Maybe I should recreate that. But that's one of the videos maybe that help you with that question. If you look for LUTs, you can basically look online, and there's like thousands of LUTs that you can get. Some of them are paid, some of them are not paid. Let's see. I also created a LUT pack. You can look in there if you want, but you can just go LUT and architecture. There we go. And see if there's some architecture. You can go for videos or photos. So maybe there is more for videos. Because originally LUTs have been used for color correction or color adjustment in videos. There you go. The top 10 best LUT download sites. You can look there. All these kind of things, and try to figure out if there is something that's helping you. And anything that's a LUT can be imported, no matter if this is for photo or video. You can see here LUT color grading pack, and this is for Photoshop, Lightroom, Premiere, After Effects, all these kind of things. So because a LUT is just a LUT, it's just a lookup table for colors. It's basically a list of numbers that says this is the number input, this is the number output, and then they go through all of the colors basically with that. Okay, and then you just look online if you find architecture LUTs or LUTs that are good for this kind of, I don't know, interior or what is it called? What is it actually called when you sell houses? Oh God, my English is so bad today. You are a, what is this called? The guys who sell houses are, anyways, doesn't matter. Okay. But I would look for that and see what LUTs are. Let's go first with the free LUTs maybe, or if you buy one, let's see if they have a sample pack or stuff like that. Because LUTs are sometimes very specific on how they look and what they do. I also have a LUT pack created on my, wait a second, let's go over here real quick. Because it goes to my back end of the website. When I click on this on Gumroad, where's the LUTs? 1 second. This one. They are not specifically created for architecture, so that's important to keep in mind maybe. But you can have a look, and there's also a free version. Although what I'm linking right now is not the free version. I should link the free version too. 1 second. I have to open the window again. 1 second. Products. There we go. That's the free version. Yes, that's the free version. Okay, good. This is 10. It's just 10 LUTs in the free version, but you can have a try. You can see how to use them if you like them, stuff like that. And when you want to use LUTs in Affinity Photo, let's take another picture here. Let's indoors. No. Home. Okay. Yeah, let's go with this picture here. Copy image. New from clipboard. You go down here to adjustments and then you go here to LUT. Because LUT is an adjustment inside of Affinity Photo. They don't have a preview, a live preview of the LUTs. You would have to add them as presets. This is something that should be improved, because other, like for example, video editing, like DaVinci Resolve, stuff like that, you just point it to the folder where you have maybe hundreds of LUTs or thousands of LUTs then in there, and then it creates previews of all these LUTs. You don't have to create presets or import anything. You just get a preview of everything. But in Affinity Photo, it doesn't work like that. So you have to load the LUT one by one, and then you can create a preset, stuff like that. Let's see if I find mine, and then I can show you real quick. Mocha portrait, there we go. LUTs, product. Let's go here. What do we have, for example? Mocha. This one is called Mocha. Let's see what that is. Maybe probably a sepia kind of thing. Okay, so you can see here this is too extreme, but what you are meant to do here is that you either play around with the blend modes. For example, when you use it with soft light, you can see immediately this looks a lot better than when you have it on normal. This looks like crap. This is not how this is supposed to be used. So you set it to soft light and this looks nice. And then you can also reduce the opacity. So you can see when you go to 0, that's the original. You see, but I wanted to have a little bit more warmth in there. So you push this up and you say, okay, maybe here at maybe, let's say 70%, I'm happy with that. So you have this kind of LUT in there with these kind of settings, but just a little bit of that. This is how you use them, how they're supposed to be used, with the blend modes, with the opacity to get the effect that you want from the LUT. And so a lot of them, if you just load them in, they don't look right. You have to adjust them to what you need. Yeah. All right, that's that. Oh, my throat is a little bit sore. I should. Oh, we have my sponsor, Pepsi. No, not really my sponsor. That would be great, though. Yeah. Okay. By the way, this is something interesting to talk about. I read a book. It's not a good book, by the way. It's called Blink. And it's about marketing and about it's not about marketing, actually. It's about split-second decisions. And the book is pretty pointless on its own. But the best thing I got from that is that they wrote about New Coke, which was the biggest rebrandings catastrophe in big brands, because they figured out that Pepsi made an advertisement that said if people try Pepsi for the first time, they like it more than Coke. And it was actually true. People like Pepsi more when they tried for the first time. And the interesting thing is because they tried just one sip, and not like they didn't drink the full glass or the full bottle, because over time this changes. As you know, some tastes, they really taste great the first time, but then they change over time. But the interesting thing also that I read in this text is that, and you might be surprised, what does this have to do with photography? I will tell you in a second. So the interesting thing was, in the text they said, the difference between Pepsi and Coke is actually Pepsi has more of this kind of lemon taste, and it tastes more fruity than Coke, which Coke is more sweet and balanced, but Pepsi has this kind of fruit taste in it a little bit, and a little bit of lemon taste. And I never really paid attention to that. And then I tried Pepsi and I was like, yeah, it actually tastes a little bit more like a fruit and more like this kind of lemon freshness. And I was like, yeah, actually, after now I actually know this, and someone pointed it out to me, I actually now like Pepsi better than Coke, because it has this kind of lemon taste and I like it. It's kind of fresh. Every time you take a sip, you have this little kind of freshness boost. If you drink too much, it goes away. But if you take a sip and then a sip after like some minutes, always lemon. That's interesting. And what this has to do with photography is that basically understanding a picture of what is it meant to be and what the thoughts are behind the artwork is really important to actually get anything out of the picture, because a picture on its own doesn't really tell you much, and it tells you a lot less the less you know about this kind of art genre or this kind of artistic endeavor, or what is the concept behind the art or the art movement or the art philosophy, all these kind of things. Because how would you know that without reading about it, without anybody telling you about it? You can't get it from the picture. Pictures are not filled with information inherently. If you see something in a picture, it's because you learn to see that in a picture. The picture itself doesn't show you anything on its own, which might be surprising to most people, but that's the case. It's just pixels. It's just points of color, basically, or stuff on a paper, and the rest that we see is just made up from our experience of knowing things, which is pretty important when you handle art. And there's this saying like art speaks for itself. It's not true. Art doesn't speak for itself. You have to learn to understand, and the more you learn to understand, the more you get out of it, because art is more like a language. And if you don't know the language, it's just like, you can say, oh, French sounds nice. Yeah, but you don't know what the person is saying if you don't speak French, So as nice as it might sound to you, you miss like most of the value of what the person is actually saying at that moment. You know what I mean? So that's maybe a good comparison. All right, let's go back to photo editing. I'm talking too much again. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Let's look at the chat first, and then we do the Instagram pictures. Yeah, try Pepsi. That's pretty good. Don't try the book, but try Pepsi. I really hated the book. I'm so sorry. I'm sure some people like the book, but for me it was just super pointless. I think he tried to say something, and I think he thought he had a great idea, like, oh, people, they make split-second decisions, and then they are right. Why are they right in a split second when other people need like hours or days or months to figure something out? And then you read like 300 or 400 pages, and the only thing it says is that when you're an expert and you spend all of your life researching one thing, like for example to figure out if like an ancient Greek sculpture is actually real or a copy, your split-second decision is extremely informed because you have spent all of your life figuring out the difference. And that's what the book says. It's so pointless because, yes, of course, an expert can see things that you can't see, even in a second. That's like, really? We need a book for that? That's very strange. Sorry for like doing... okay, that's not good. I shouldn't do that in my videos. All right. I should do now photo editing before everybody is leaving and say, who is this crazy guy? What is he talking about? Okay, let's go. Let's do Instagram edit here. Someone said something, sorry. Wow, you lost 33 kilos. Wow, that's interesting. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. We shouldn't drink them. That's true. Yeah. Text effects in Affinity Photo using different effects. I think I have a video a little bit about text effects, but not too much. But that would be maybe interesting. I don't think most people think about text when they think about photo editing, but that could be interesting too. Yeah. What was I talking about? No. Okay, let's now go to photo editing. Let's see what the gods of Unsplash give us today. If we find something cool and can create something cool. Pretty nice. Okay. Let's see. So this is also kind of my challenge, that I try to find something without preparation on Unsplash and then create something creative from that. By the way, I have to widen my repertoire a little bit because I like, if I look at my past pictures, it's like thunder and glow effects basically on every picture, and a little bit of ghost effect. So I need to do more. Maybe today I do the same thing because I haven't spent time on thinking what else I could do. But I should do a little bit more than just the same thing. Like you do something, it works, you have fun with it, and then you repeat it over and over. And you forget, there's other things out there that you should learn and improve on. And so far, I'm not really seeing anything. That's a cool picture here. What could we do? That's very nice here. Again, it's like glow and gradients. I don't know. The cat. And sometimes you just don't find anything. That's also kind of a... By the way, when we talk about these kind of things of how knowledge changes you and like you learn to see or hear or taste something, stuff like that, what always has amazed me is that, first of all, a thing that is not, doesn't have its own emotions, its own intelligence, anything like that, you can basically save a mood. Like you save energy inside of a battery, you can save a mood inside of just writing down notes or writing down text or just taking a picture, stuff like that. So like a paper with some colors on it can hold mood. You can find mood in that. That's so interesting, right? Or just notes. And this with notes, I find it even more surprising. So you have to think about, if you play notes on a piano in the right combination, your brain suddenly says, oh, and now I'm happy, or it says, oh, now I'm scared, now I'm in love, because you press buttons in the right combinations, like you're a computer and it's like the code beep 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 beep, and you're like, I'm so in love, or oh, I feel so sad right now. You know, it's so strange that this actually works, you know, and it works like this, like bam, and there it is, you know, like in movies. This is why you have all this music in movies. So they just say, okay, now you're sad, and then music comes and you're like, and when you turn the music off, you were like, no, that's actually not that good a scene, but the music makes it amazing. Or the other way around, basically, also. Okay, I'm not finding anything today. It's really strange. But I'm really like, this is one of the big mysteries to me. Why is our brain responding to that? On like a press of a button, you're like, boom, okay, I'm scared now. Today I don't find any pictures. Come on, please give me something. This is kind of nice. What can we do here? Ah, God. 1 second. Is my mic on? Yes, my mic is on. Okay. So sometimes this backfires a little bit with this strategy of finding things. We could also search for terms or something, for words. Let's look at the pictures we have found, like this one, for example. We can just work with this one. Maybe we do some kind of glowy thing again. And then, but we can scroll here and see if we find something else. That's also pretty nice. Aesthetic, that sounds good. What do we have here? By the way, I want to figure out how this is done. I don't think it's just like, okay, the sky was like that. So this kind of, because you have this kind of in Apple wallpapers of their computers and stuff like this combination of this kind of pink violet and the blue in the landscape. I really enjoy this look because this is like my favorite colors basically combined in one picture with a nice landscape. So I really want to figure out how this is done. Let's save this real quick. This kind of effect. All right. Let's close this. What do we have here? Let's do something with her here. No, not with her. With her. Okay. Okay, that's right. There we go. Let's download this so we don't waste too much time. Okay. So now the big question is, well, what are we going to do with that? We could do like kind of a glitch thing or something effect with that or so. Let's see what the chat is saying real quick. Ice cold. I don't understand the point with ice. Drink Coke compared to lukewarm. Sweetener. Oh, interesting. I just have my Pepsi standing around. It's like room temperature. no ice in there. It's probably a bit better with ice. I don't know. Look to rest tomorrow. Thanks. Oh, okay. Thanks for joining. Tropical theme. A double exposure with a tropical theme. Like a palm tree or something. But where? How? I don't know. We can have like, let's just give it a try. Palm trees. So like this hotel or what? And then just blend this. Let's just Yeah, I know what I mean, but it's like I know what I mean, what you mean, but it's not really the kind of, I don't know. Let's go maybe with the city, more like this sci-fi kind of thing. For example, if we take this, combine this. It's maybe better, or? Industrial. Let's have something with more of contrast. Maybe something like that or so. Does Blade Runner have any kind of these? It looks like they're looking through some glass or something. Okay, it's interesting. Oh. Oh, that's an interesting effect. Okay. Huh. Interesting. We could try something like that. But where do we find a girl pointing like that? That would be a cool picture, right? That's always the biggest thing, is like finding the right pictures when you want to do a specific thing and you want to like find a picture that's fitting, especially from the free sites, because often they don't have the best search functions. Probably on iStock or something you would be faster to find something like that. But let's see if we find a guy on a bridge. Understanding under the bridge. That's not what we're looking for. Sorry, this takes a long time. Normally it goes a little bit faster, but today not happening. That guy's also pretty cool. I'm not sure we can do what we can do with that. It would be so cool if you have like, you can draw. I think there is like artificial intelligence things that they are building. You draw a scene and then it searches a picture for you that looks like that scene, you know. I think there is even search engines like that. I'm not right sure. Because that would be super useful. That guy's looking down, but we could maybe turn his head to look upwards. So let's download this real quick and see what we can do with that. So we can place this guy in here, and then turning the head upwards is just like, shouldn't be much of a problem, I guess. Let's rasterize this and then take the head. Let's go to like this, basically. Copy, fill. Let's turn this over. Let's move this turning point here, up there. And there we go. And let's see from the picture. How's it here? Does he look like straight on, or? No, he looks up a little bit. Okay, so let's have this guy look up a little bit, like so. I guess this would be right. Is that... Wait a second. So this is here, basically. So this would be then like this, right? Because the head shouldn't be like super long, the neck. Okay, so let's paint a mask on that a little bit. Take brush. Soft brush. There we go. And then make this a little bit smaller. And maybe opacity 50%. So we can blend this in a little bit. As you can see, it's pretty easy, like that. There we go. I can probably go a little bit higher with the opacity. I took a little bit from his cap. Let's paint this back in. There we go. Yeah, we can fix the background a bit better. And this thing here for his face, we can just use the in-paint brush. You see I created a new pixel layer, current layer and below. So we just probably should be able to just paint this out. Yeah, and here it stops working. Okay, let's take our clone brush, source here, and then just paint this in. That was too much. Eraser. You see, that's a good thing of having an extra layer. We can just erase the parts that are too much. Okay. Is the neck too long? I feel like the head needs to be a bit. Let's turn the document upside down. Like this. Like so. So when you do this, turning it upside down, you have a better, you have a second kind of view on things to see if they look a bit strange or not. And then you can turn it back. And it often looks better than when you start it out. So we need to fix this a little bit. I will make a new layer on top of everything here and just make a quick selection here. I think like this should be okay. Feather this a little bit. Okay. And then let's take our clone brush, source, current, and below, and sample from here. And then I can just paint this in here. So that should be good. Hardness. So we can also fix this here a little bit. And now we still have the problem with the face. So this is a bit more work than I anticipated. I should have just made a selection of the head probably. But yeah, we are already down the line. Let's just paint this in here. Down the rabbit hole. Let's put this also here. Let's make this a little bit smaller and just paint it in here a little bit softer. Take this a bit. Boom. Okay. That should be good enough. Should we fix this over here? I feel like we just take a little bit of that part here and then just like add a bit more cloud over here. Okay, now we have the... Okay. It's always, when you think it's like a thing of 5 seconds, it always turns out to be a lot more complicated. Add some more. There we go. So now, of course, we have a little bit of... 1 second, we're almost done, sorry. Oh! I really should just have selected the head and then go with that. Is the neck too long or is that okay? There's this kind of mystery necklace here. We should edit that. That's no good. Let's just paint on that a little bit. Why is there no color? Oh, there we go. One second, I'm just like painting in a little bit of this kind of shoulder part here. That's way too much. Why? That's strange. You can see this is turning red when I paint over it. That's kind of... Why is this happening? Oh, opacity. Why is this turning red? Strange. Okay. Let's take some from here. Paint over that a little bit. Opacity. Yeah, there we go. Okay, it's probably better. That's was way more complicated, it should have been. And also, we want to probably reposition the picture. Let's go like this. Okay, so now we have the guy looking up, and now we need a face that's looking to the right. Let's see if we can find anything here like that. Here's a face that's looking to the left or to the right. It doesn't really matter. People still around? Yeah, a little bit. Okay. Haha, there's the cat from the other tutorial that I did. Let's see if we have some more pictures of her. Not really. Okay, let's see. Look left. There we go. That doesn't work at all. The one thing, like, Unsplash doesn't support, I think, that you have this kind of search like on Google, where you have these kind of signs, like a plus, and then it says like, okay, plus this, plus this. So it shows you only this picture. You can see like here's everything. So that's the downside of that. That's in black and white. That would be nice here, but it's in black and white, sadly. We could try, but... Oh, did I close it? Reopen. There we go. And it's also very dark here. That would be nice. Maybe there's other pictures of her that are not black and white. She's pointing. Yeah, sorry that this is taking a bit long today, searching these pictures. Let's see what happens if we put her into the picture. If that is interesting or not. Because the guy is also dark here with the silhouette. So maybe that is kind of good. Let's see if we find it. There we go. So let's switch this over. Should we just use the normal picture, kind of blend it with the background or what? Yeah, the city in the background is a bit strange here. I will just go like this for the moment, and then we will refine the reflection, the selection afterwards. Just for a quick look here. Whoops. But she doesn't look at him at all. So that's maybe a... We could look at Pixabay. Should we go on with this picture or maybe drop this? Let's put this the chat over here. You can see that. Try high clip art. The neck is too long, you think? You can look at that. Should we go on with the picture or drop that kind of idea? I don't want it to take too long. Can try something else. Okay. Keep going. She's looking to the left or to the right, to the side anyways. There's one. That could be interesting. We could also use a fox. Hey, that's interesting. We could do something like this. Okay, let's do something like this next. I try to do a quick like finish for this work. And then we try to do some like this with the tree head. That looks pretty cool. Finding pictures is so hard. That's a cool picture. We could try her. Is this big enough? I think. Let's go with this size. And maybe that one. Is that the exact same picture? That might be the same picture just combined by another user. This is why I don't like Pixabay. You don't know if these things are legit or not because you can see it's a different user. They always have these kind of strange names. They never, like seldom have a link to their profile. On Unsplash you often have their kind of Instagram handle or stuff like that. We could go with the fox, but that might be a bit goofy. Let's have a look at that lady here. Fill, arrange. Flip horizontal. Okay, I will go again go like this just to see how this looks. Although here I can actually just create a selection. Let's reset this. Let's just make a quick selection here. kind of looks stupid. Oops. Wrong picture. Nah. Let's do something else. Sorry, guys. This is just stupid. Let's delete all of this. There we go. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so that's the idea. Let's see if we can do something like that, because that looks a lot more doable. And like with this kind of thing, you really need like the expression of these kind of people in the picture. It's so hard to find the picture, so let's forget about that. Sometimes it just doesn't work. We could just go with this guy and choose and put some trees in his head, right? Let's do that. Let's be a bit quicker about this one. Although it has this nice background, gray background. There we go. That's a cool picture anyways. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work. That's also okay. It doesn't always have to be 100%. There we go. Longer background. We have to blend this a little bit. Doesn't matter right now, because we just want to see what we can do with him. Like that. Yeah, let's go like this for the moment. That's okay. We'll fix this later. Doesn't matter. Okay, so now we need trees. Trees. And then we just... Yeah, absolutely. You learn the most from failure. You just try some things, doesn't work. And you can either go ahead and like say, I want to figure out how to do that. I want to be good at that. Although this time it was not the technical thing, it was just finding the right pictures that didn't work out. Or you can just go and do something else. Or maybe you have a lucky accident where you just find cool new techniques. So this is always good to try things and like grow from that, learn from that. And I really hope we find some nice bird trees now, because otherwise... this is gonna be a bad stream. It should be a good stream. It's like the 20,000 subscribers stream. But today it's just not flowing. Let's see. Whoops. Let's look on Pixabay if we have more luck there. It's kind of nice. Let's see. Does Pixabay suggest other pictures? No, they just suggest the stock pictures. And we can't use them. I was thinking about subscribing to a stock picture service, but they are so expensive. It's just like as a streamer, as a YouTuber, it doesn't really make sense, you know. As an agency, or if you do something for customers, it makes more sense. Do you pay like, I don't know, $10 for a picture or stuff like that? But if you need a lot of pictures and you have to buy them to use them, and then you maybe find out it doesn't even work for your picture, that just doesn't make sense right now. So, but it would make the search maybe easier. Although a lot of these stock pages have become a lot worse in last years because they opened it up to everybody, and now there is so much stuff on them you can't use at all. Before you were like searching and you found amazing pictures in seconds, and now it's like you just don't find anything. You have to search also very long because there's all this kind of crap on there. Okay, again, I'm running into picture problems. What is going on today? I don't know. Or is like half trees. This could be also nice here. I mean, they could fade out, right? That's okay. What else do we have here? We have this. Let's go with this real quick. There's the download. Okay. So we have this tree, then we have that tree here. Let's go with that. We can take parts of the trees. That's okay. Yeah, why not? Let's go with that. Okay, so we have 3 different tree pictures here. Let's see if we can put anything in here that looks interesting. Ah. There we go. Okay. Let's work with this first. Let's see if we can put this in here and see if this gives an interesting effect or not. Maybe turn it black and white first. Let's go with black and white here. I will just put this on the top for now. Let's go with 50% so we see where this is going. That looks kind of interesting actually. So we can do something with that. Okay, so I would suggest we go again with the blend ranges. We can try because the trees are dark, the background is bright. So maybe this gives us something interesting. Does this work right now? Maybe not, because the trees are also a bit bright. We can just paint on a mask. That's also an opportunity, possibility. And we can make the trees darker also. Okay, let's go with a mask. See how far we come with that. Make this a bit bigger. Full opacity. Ah, okay, that works. Okay, good. So let's just remove all the stuff we don't need. Is this 100%? No, it's not. Oh, and this is not black. Oh, God. Okay, 1 second. Messing it up. Okay, so when I get to 30,000, I will actually prepare pictures that I will edit in the stream. This was like not a good idea today. I thought I can just like normally works good, but today it's just like not working. Oh God. Although this is a bit better. Let's put this on here. Is this? Ah, okay, I see, I see, I see. Okay, interesting. Yeah, we can go with darken. That's makes much more sense. Okay. That's a lot better. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, so this is okay. The only thing I want to fix now is this kind of bad background here, because this really annoys me at the moment. So let's fix this a little bit. I think I will do it with a brush. Let's make this soft here. And then I just pick this color. And I will put this in the background. And then also create a pixel layer. And then just paint in here. Which for some reason doesn't work. Ooh. Okay, new plan. We delete this and that, and then I just duplicate this layer and select the upper part and stretch it out like so. Let's take this and then I just stretch this up. Oh, it's an image layer, okay. Rasterize. Let's stretch this up to the top. All right, so that works. And then let's see, we put this on top here. Okay, and in this case, I can simply remove, I should be able to remove this with the in-paint brush if it does its job right. So let's see. Is this this is the wrong layer, right? Yeah, okay. There we go. Please work. There we go. Why? Why is this always taking the wrong kind of thing where you think I want it that way and it's doing the exact opposite? Okay, let's take this other thing here. Patch tool. Does this doesn't work either, right? Sorry, 1 second. Maybe that's enough anyways. Is it enough anyways? Should be a bit more, but anyway. Okay. So now what I wanted to do, let's rasterize this. I wanted to now take the eraser, soft edge, make it bigger, and then just delete these parts here. So this softly blends. I've extended the background. And the only thing that doesn't work, of course, is the in-paint brush. Maybe I can paint this on here. There we go. Okay. Okay, good. Sorry. That was really unnecessary. Okay, so let's go back to this, what we actually want to do here. That looks good. I would actually just duplicate this and then turn it over to the other side. Like flip horizontally. And then we can rotate this and bring it up here. Maybe like so. So the similarity isn't super apparent. We need to paint some more mask here. Is this the mask? Am I on the mask? Yeah. Then, okay, it's just very soft. Just very soft and very big. Okay. There we go. Let's hide some of that stuff here. Yeah, so that actually starts to look like something, so that's good. What else do we do here? So we have this tree also. I resized the wrong one, of course. This one. Let's also set this to darken. Back to 100%. Then the right side. Maybe, yes. So to hide the lighter parts, right? But it doesn't work anyways because they are fading into lightness, basically. So that wouldn't work here. But it starts to look pretty okay. Maybe it's a bit much, but we can fix that in a second. Let's put a mask on here and paint out some of the stuff we don't need. Mask is on. Let's remove all this kind of stuff here. Hi NK, thanks for joining. I want to see from this one. Yeah, I think I want to remove these branches from that picture because that's a bit too much right now. All right. There's some dark area here. Which layer is that? That's not this one. Yeah, it's that one. Okay. So let's hide that too. Good. Yeah, that's starting to look pretty good. Let's have a comparison with the other picture. What did they do? Let's see what this... So they made part of the head transparent, and then they basically have this kind of negative trees down here. And it looks like a nervous system. And they have these kind of birds also. That looks actually interesting. Yeah. Okay. Wait a second. So that's just like cut off the head and replace it with the trees. And there's like just so much going on, you can't even see the edge of the head. Okay. So we could do in the dark area here, we can do this. We can attempt to do this. So I would say maybe with this one. I think I make a second pixel layer here and just draw. What changed? What second? Did I move something? Because I now suddenly have this kind of line up here. What is going on here? 1 second. Okay, so let's lock these two. And then I would say we just paint in a little bit of that gray in these areas here on the second pixel layer. So let's take one of the grays here. And then I will just like maybe go a little bit like that or so. So like this, okay. Good. And then we just fill it up to an extent where we don't see the edge anymore, right? So we have this kind of effect where it looks like, oh, okay, there's something happening, but you can't really decipher the edge. We can actually, let's duplicate this layer, pull it down. So there's a good starting point. Let's put this over here and rasterize and trim it. So this is just a JPEG layer. And yeah, oh, there's a little bit of an edge down here. We can remove that. Okay. And so now when I resize this, this doesn't have all these other adjustment stuff in here. So I can basically just put it in here and just copy this without like too much load to my CPU. So we can just put this here and then some more stuff. We can actually hide the other ones right now. So we just build up this lower part until we are satisfied with what is going on here. And then we build up the higher part. We can also resize this. And basically the trick here is to just fill this up to an extent where you don't really see anymore what's going on. So the eye is basically tricked into thinking, oh, this is growing out of the skin, out of the head. I want to hide this here a little bit more. Maybe make it a little more of a straight edge here, like that. So basically I can use it like a brush. You could actually create a brush with these like branches and actually paint on that. So let's rotate this over a little bit. The good thing also about a brush would be that you could set it to random sizes. And then just paint, and this would like random rotations, random sizes. This would give you a bit more variety in how the brush looks, basically, if you know what I mean. So I would say that's actually pretty good. And now what we could do is, let's take this here and I will just invert this layer. Yeah, that's, I don't, is this, wait. Blend mode is now lighten. So because now it's the opposite. Now we want to apply the light part, not the dark part. So we go and want to remove the dark part. So we go, instead of darken, we go to lighten, and this does exactly the opposite. So it hides the dark parts, it shows the light parts, right? So now you could basically go and apply this here into the other direction, right? Although, I mean, do we need that? Do we want that? Let's make this a little bit bigger. In the other pictures, like here's just like a hint of that effect. Is that a good idea? Should we do that, or is that like unnecessary? Let's take this one, rasterize it again. So it has kind of, it retains this effect. You see when I rasterize, it goes back to, in this case it actually goes back to lighten instead of normal. But if I set it now to screen and I overlay it with this, it should get brighter at the areas where it overlays. So if I take multiple of these, they go brighter and brighter, you see? Although this is not exactly what I wanted to do now here. So let's duplicate this. Let's group those, rasterize. And then let's delete this part here. What is this? Is that, there's a layer down here, right? Oh. Oh, okay, I see. That's the same one. Okay, good. So just delete that. Should we do that? I think it looks a bit strange, right? Maybe make this a little bit smaller here. Delete the other parts we don't need. No, not the brush uses less CPU, but if you create a pixel layer like this instead of the layer I used before with all of the adjustments on it, like levels adjustment and mask and all of that, if I copy this 30 times, it needs a lot more power than if I just flatten it, render it into a pixel layer, and then copy that. That's what I meant. I make another pixel layer here with a black brush, so I can just paint in here a little bit. Oh, I'm still on my eraser. No wonder it doesn't paint. Whoop, that's too much. Opacity. I'm going to darken some areas here. No, that was a bit too much. Okay. I really don't like this effect down here. So let's remove that. That looks a bit stupid. And now we have something here. Oh, maybe that's his earring or something. We can paint over that. 1 second. Yeah, it's better. Okay. So now we can turn on the other trees again. Nope, that wasn't one. Okay. So apparently now we have to put the other trees on top because this is some blending going on here that we don't want to have. So let's put this up on top. You can see there's a ton of layers now. All right. Did I paint something up there? Where's this kind of foggy effect here coming from? Ah, I remember. I think we had hair there before, and this is why I painted this differently. So now I just have to bring this down. And now we can also arrange it in a way that makes more sense with what we have created so far. Bring this down here. The black and white filter is lacking. This is why it looks a bit strange right now. So let's return this so this is like following a little bit more the shape of the head. Like that. Move this over here. This looks actually pretty good now, I would say. Pretty happy with that. There's some stuff we need to paint out. But this is actually like... I now feel like the stream is getting more interesting again. Before the first one was a pretty like not so good attempt. But this one is pretty nice now. There's some other stuff down there we need to remove. Yeah, we can go like that. Let's remove this stuff here. So I would say we are closing in on being done with this. I think the idea with the birds is pretty cool, so we can try that. Let's see if we find some birds. Doesn't have to be, but I mean, there's a bunch of birds. We can use that. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I will open this as a new file because I can then just like copy out birds that I like and say like, okay, this one, and just put it here. Darken, and there we go, and you have a bird in here. You see, super easy, bird. And then we can say, wait, let's say this one is cool. It's a bit different. They are all like from below, so that's maybe a downside to that right now. Where's the bird? I think that didn't work. Okay, let's try again. Oh, okay, wrong tool. Ah, it's on add. This is why it didn't work. Okay. What is going on here right now? Let's rasterize. And then try again. Copy. Fill. Oh! It's down here for some reason. That is very strange. Okay. Yeah, I think, or maybe, wait a second, let's flip this. So this is going a little bit the other direction. Take some more birds. This one is also cool. Darken. Maybe make this a bit smaller. Have to turn this off. Okay. We could also take a bunch of birds. Let's take these. You can also like make bird brushes if you want to. So that's also like, and then you can paint on them. Like you can technically make a brush where you alterate between these bird pictures randomly. Right? That can be a pretty cool effect. And then you paint, like you can paint 100 birds just like going around with your brush, and it alternates between these variations of birds. Maybe one more bird, I don't know. And then it's good enough, I would say. Which one should we take? Is there a nice one? Maybe this one. All right. There we go. I would say we are done here. I don't find this upper bird right now. Oh, it's down here. Okay. All right. Should we put everything a little bit more to the left? Because I feel like this is cramped a little bit into the corner. Let's select everything. And of course, this is totally mixing up, like not going to be good for the rest of the picture, but let's just see. I will group this so it's easier to move. If it would be like that. No, I'm not going through all the hassle of adjusting that right now. So one thing we can try now is just to make our good old overlay gradient trick to see if this will improve something, makes it interesting and a different kind. But I don't think it needs that, right? I mean, that is kind of nice. Doesn't need it. Okay, I think it's like better like this, black and white, just like straight like that. Okay, so let's save that. First picture done. Instagram, new folder. Let's call this bird head. All right, first one done. If in doubt, just steal from someone else. Get inspired by other ideas. I mean, this was a cool exercise. It was pretty interesting to learn something from that. Okay, cool. We could... I mean, that area is a bit... I thought I painted a little bit on that. Did I hide that? Did I turn that off, maybe? Did I... Maybe... I might have accidentally deleted that area. Oh no, I painted down here. So let's paint a little bit more. Just for a second, and then we make the next picture. Just so this rises more out of a kind of interesting darkness. Yeah, that's better. Okay, cool. So first picture done. Let's do the next picture. File, new. All right. Whew. You just cooked a very delicious dish. Wow, that's cool. Work. Oh, Jan, you're leaving? When? Okay, 10 minutes ago, so he's already gone. All right. Thanks for magic. You're welcome. Gutierrez from Argentina. Thanks very much. All right. Okay, so let's try and get inspired for another picture. I was really like... Hi, Paul. Thanks for joining. Wasting too much time on the other one. We can also look here on Pixabay to maybe see if we see some other cool ideas that we can work with, discover more. I mean, that's pretty cool here. But I always like, I want to do more than just a little editing. By the way, this looks really not so good here. Like the first look was great, but then like there should be a lot more fog down here. But that's kind of cool. That's kind of interesting. Very nice combination of this kind of boat here and stuff. I mean, we could work with that. We could make a version of that. So let's go here and let's see if we find a nice boat. Is it boat or is it boat with a T? Boat. It's boat. Okay, good. I mean, this one is lonely on a lake. So let's see. Cloudy sky. We could see if we take a sky like that and simply paint on it, if that gives that effect. I would be interested. Let's see. If I put this in here, like so, and then I would simply make a new layer, set it to screen, and then I take a white brush and also set my brush to screen. Like so. Okay, and now let's take maybe a light gray and I paint on that. So let's see what's going to happen. I mean, it gets brighter. Reduce the opacity, go bigger. Yeah, it's not 100% that effect. Yeah, this looks better. Okay. Yeah, oh god, Rateo, I think was the name. Thanks for watching. I can understand. It's all here is also like almost midnight, so thank you very much. And yeah, pretty cool. Thanks for joining. You can watch the rest of the stream tomorrow. It's all being recorded on YouTube, so it's no problem. Maybe I should start the stream an hour early or something. I don't know. I always have to kind of balance between the people watching from Europe and the people watching from America, stuff like that. That's a nice one here. You know what? Let's just experiment with this. I will download this. We can do another black and white picture, by the way. So I will go with this guy here. And then just see what we can paint with that, because that sounds like fun. And last time I was pretty surprised how well the light painting went. So I want to try with that a little bit more. Let's download, let's put this picture here. Maybe make the boat a little bit smaller and put it a little bit to the right side. And then we place the sky in here like so. And let's see, make it like so. All right. And then I will add some more help me fog afterwards. Help me brain. Okay. So the horizon is basically here. We can push it maybe a little bit lower. I really like that sky up here. Maybe we can cut it. I will make a shape and then mask to below. So I can then like decide where I want to have the end of the sky. So let's go like this. And then I will flip the sky. Because you can see it has this nice motion in it. Now it goes from left to right, kind of follows the ship. So that's helpful for us. Okay. And then also create a mask here. Paint out a little bit the boat. If that works, that might not work together with the rectangle mask we already have here. Oh no, it does work. Okay, cool. So I will just go like this a little bit. Although we maybe want to have a more precise mask. Let's delete this again. Okay, let's go in here. Create a bit more precise mask of the boat. Let's go to add. Okay. All right. Maybe also capture this down here. There we go. Okay, let's make a mask from that. Do we need I think we need an inverted mask, right? Select. Oh, first of all, feather this a little bit. 3 pixels, shrink it a little bit. And then invert. Selection. Probably doing it wrong again. Let's see. No, that was the right way around. Okay, good. So we have basically a good mask here. Okay. So now what we want to do is to put some fog down here and then we start to paint. So I will make a new layer, take my brush. I have these fog brushes I've downloaded. Where are they? Here. Fog brushes. They're a bit too big. That's too small. Yeah, let's go with that. For starters. And then make a second layer. Click again. Go a little bit over here. And then I can flip this layer. Put it here, maybe make it a little bit shorter. Okay. Eraser brush. Make that big and soft. So we can delete the edges. See, there's some hard edges here. We can remove like that. Very nice. Also here. Good. So we have a bit more of that going on. Let's make another layer. And there is one brush, this one, that makes this kind of middle fog, like so. So let's put this up here twice. Good. And then I can resize that, squish it down, put it here on the edge for the boat. So we didn't see the edge of the water that good. Okay. Eraser. Delete that part that we don't need. And of course now we don't see the boat very well. So let's make a mask on that. Take the brush, make it soft and round, basic brush, like so, and black. And then we can lower the opacity here. And then I can paint this until I see my boat. Okay, good. And now I can also, let's make another mask here for our, can I not? Yeah, can I not put 3 masks on the same picture? No? Okay, never mind. Then I will just paint this in here. I'm just gonna blur this. Oh, and now we have the rectangle. That's interesting. Yeah, I can blur the rectangle. That's a possibility. There we go. Boom. One move and done. You see? You can blur a rectangle and you go. And that's it. That's that. All right. So now we have to paint the sky with our nice effect. Wait, what? I would like to show how to do watercolor effect grunge style. So many examples in Photoshop, but not, I did do like maybe not the best video ever about this topic, but I did one. 1 second. Watercolor. So Affinity Photo doesn't have these kind of paint effects, filters that turn like the pixels, move them around so they look like paint. So that doesn't really work. But I made this here where you can see you have this kind of, is a picture, is a photo of a lion, and then you take these watercolor splotches and blend it with the picture so it has this kind of watercolor effect. So I already made a tutorial about that, so you can check that out. There you go. Boom. Trying to replicate an Affinity Photo, but with little success so far. You mean the one with the birds and the tree in the head, or what? So, okay, now we make this layer. Okay, so we need 2 things. We need to paint in the light that's coming from here, from the sky. And then we also need to paint in the shadows that are coming from the light, or like created by the light, if you know what I mean. So first of all, what I want to do this time is that I want to paint a little bit of the structure that we are trying to create here. So I would say probably here we have this. Okay, that's very not visible. More opacity. There we go. Okay. So here we have this kind of hole in the sky where the light comes from. It's maybe a bit too big. Let's go like this. And it's radiating outwards, basically like that. So the light is going like this. We don't have so much nice edges here. But basically here you can see we have some kind of edges that we can make darker. And maybe also here. And maybe also here a little bit. And this is already dark, so that doesn't work, but we can make these parts maybe a little bit brighter. And also here, if this radiates outwards a little bit like that. That's the plan. So let's see what we can do with that. Okay, so I will create a layer here, set it to screen. And then again, go with my brush, set, that is also at screen. That's already done. and then make that bigger and soft and reduce the opacity. Although we could this time try another way, opacity 100, and we set the flow very low. Let's go with 2%. And then let's set this to a light gray. Let's see how well that works. Although with screen, we need multiple brush strokes because they need to overlay on it on themselves. So flow probably doesn't work that great here. Well, let's see. Also inside, so we need to have a little bit of an edge here where this is darker and then gets brighter because it's like a hole in the sky. So maybe should I start with a mask first? Let's just paint this, or let's make a little bit of a mask here real quick. Let's go like that. Okay. Select, feather this a little bit. Okay. So now if I paint on this, I don't paint on the other side. So let's see how that looks. I think I'm going with opacity. I'm not really using flow too often, so let's go like that. Okay, so that should be pretty bright now, maybe completely white over here. So now if, well, let's make some strokes here. Let's zoom out so it doesn't look completely ridiculous when I'm done. All right, so let's turn off the selection. Reduce the opacity, make this brighter. Not brighter, make it bigger. And then I paint a little bit on here. Let's turn this off. Yeah, it's kind of good. Okay. This one is the light layer. Yes, light. Okay, light. Let's call this light. And then we paint some more of these ray effects here. Okay, good. So now what we need to do is to make a second layer. So this is dodge and burn. And here now I set this to soft light, then I keep open my color selector and set my blend mode here to normal. Okay, and now make this a little bit smaller. So now let's make these areas darker that we want to have darker. Is this on top of everything? It's not, so maybe put this up on here. Wait, I think I need some more. Yeah, okay. Whoa, senor, too much. So let's make this more dramatic. So what I'm doing here is like just darkening areas or brightening them, depending on if I go below 50% or higher than 50%. By the way, we need to turn on our help guide here Let's make this a little bit transparent so I'm seeing what's going on beneath it. And then we go back to this. So we said behind this it should be darker because shadow, light coming from here, creating shadow on the other side. This is also darker. This should be darker here. Also back here and back there a little bit. And then we go brighter. Maybe make this a little bit smaller. That's okay. And make these parts here brighter on this side. And I hope this looks then pretty awesome. Or not. Is it actually changing right now? Yeah, it does. Okay, pretty cool. Okay, so I feel like over here, let's make this bigger. All this part here should be darker on the outside. Probably want to put a vignette or something. Whoa, that's too small. No, that's a bit too much. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's turn the guide off. Okay. Let's see if this, no, this is not good. Let's take those two and let's turn them a little bit. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, I can't turn this one, but I can turn the other one here. Yeah, that's better. Okay, good. So, by the way, one thing we could try, and I really don't like this filter at all, but we could try to have this kind of light effect here. Let's merge everything. And put this on here. And then we can combine it with the background. Probably not gonna work because the effect just doesn't look good. Well, let's see. Let's apply this here and then let's see. Yeah, it's actually better than I thought. That looks, I mean, looks like a headlight. It's not. Let's blur this. Preserve alpha. Okay. Why isn't this having any effect? Is this the wrong layer, maybe? No. Okay. mask. I mean, it's going the right direction, right? So that's okay. But I think that this is a bit much. Is this the right? Yeah, it should be the right one. Okay. Okay. So another thing we can do is that we then go and paint here a little bit black. Set this to darken or something. Why? Wait a second. Let's make a selection of that. Which for some reason why is this? Okay, sometimes I don't know, sometimes it doesn't work in Affinity Photo. I want to, like, normally if I click on this, you see this, it creates a selection. But if I click here, it doesn't really, or maybe it did create a selection, it could be. Let's create an adjustment. Maybe we can't just see the selection. Curves adjustment. Aha, I did create a selection, doesn't show it to me, so that's interesting. There's a mask on that. Was that not the pixel layer I just created? Wait, where did the adjustment layer go I just created? Okay, anyways, let's make another curves layer. There we go. So let's turn this off. Okay, and then I just pull this down. Yeah, this gives me more control. That's pretty good. Can I? One second, what is this? That is that, okay. So we need to paint this in down here a little bit, because for some reason there's an edge down here. This is why I don't like to use the adjustment masks. I don't know why now I can't paint down here for some reason. Is there some other mask that's blocking me maybe? Oh, maybe it, no, it is definitely this layer here that's doing that. Okay, delete that layer. Forget about that. Let's make a new one. And then just pull this down. And okay, this also has that. Interesting. Wait. Let's bring that back. Okay, so why is there this edge down here? We have to figure that out. One of these guys is sitting a little bit high for some reason. And creates, but there's nothing that could create that. I don't understand. Anybody know where this comes from? This edge here, because I have no idea right now. That is so strange. This shouldn't be here. And if I turn this off, it's gone for some reason, but it doesn't seem to be that layer. Because if I turn this off and then I make another curves adjustment and pull this down, it's back again. So what is that? That is so strange. Wait. We also, where did the other layer go that we created? We created a that's so strange. Okay. Let's do this differently. 1 second. Let's save this. Save 05 ghost boat and then close it and open it up again. Maybe it changes something. Oh, it's in here. Okay. We are almost done. The only thing I want to do is some more darkness around the boat, but it's back again. I don't know what this is. How can we figure this out? It's like, why is the effect? Let's try another effect. If we go recolor, same thing. What is that? Just the area down here. I cannot touch this area here. That's the strangest thing ever. Oh, and the recolor has a mask on it for some reason. What? Wait, let's select everything and then create a mask. Aha, now it works. Okay, good. So that was the magic trick here. So this should now work. Pull this down. Yeah, this works. Okay, good. So I make this too extreme now. And then, although it actually looks pretty cool like that, right? Should we leave it like that? I mean, it's like pretty intense, but I like it. Let's go in here and play around with the other channels. Oh yeah. This is not too bad. Add some green, maybe not. Wait, can we... Let's go like this, a little bit green in the darker areas, and not so much in the brighter areas, and then let's see with blue. Bring this down a bit, bring this up a bit. All right. I would say that's good. Let's make another one, HSL. Bit more saturation here. I think that's it. Again, let's try our good old gradients. Set this to soft light. Let's turn this. That one is nice. A bit higher maybe. Like so. Is that too dark? I think maybe we make this like just a little bit like that. And you know what? I would like here to have a little bit more brightness in these clouds. Let's see, let's set this to screen. No, let's set this to soft light. And then no. Lolo. My cat is back. Lolo. Joining the stream. Did the stream stop? No. There we go. Lolo? There we go. Let's switch the picture real quick. 1 second. Work, talk live. There we go. Lolo, the stream cat. Hello. Okay, enough cat love. Work live. So let's just go in here and put some highlights on some areas of the clouds. No. Wait. No. What is this? 1 second. Okay, just a hint. Just to get it a little bit more like, I don't know. A bit too much over here. Is that better or not? Maybe that part here is not so good, right? Let's undo that. Let's reduce the opacity just a bit. Hardly visible. Yeah, maybe it's taken away from the main thing. Okay, cool. So we have the second picture here. I would say it's pretty okay. It's pretty cool. Very nice. Good start. Pat on the back. All right. Let's save that. I think we already have saved that. Okay, pretty cool. Oh, okay. So we streamed for 3 hours. We only managed to do 2 videos, two pictures today. Sorry for that. I was a bit like the first one really didn't want to come along. There we go. There's the chat. I hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you very much for watching. If you have some more questions, we can answer them right now. Wow, my microphone turned. I hope you still hear me. Otherwise, yeah, let's maybe finish. Oh, let me post the Facebook group again. Where is it? There we go. You should join here if you can. We have a great time here. And yeah. Thanks for watching. Also, thanks for subscribing to my channel, and like 20,000 subs is pretty awesome to have. I hope you enjoyed the editing today. Let's put this over here in the chat on the right side so we can still see the picture. All right. I really need to get on and post the things, this kind of stuff on my Instagram account. Haven't done so far. I really need to do that. Yeah. But thank you very much for watching today. It was really cool. Very nice. Special kind of occasion next time, really, when we hit 30,000, I'm gonna prepare something for the stream. Because sometimes the Unsplash gods are not very kind. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Fabian. Thank you, René. Really cool to have you in the stream. And I hope I also could answer some interesting questions. Yeah, okay. Good. If you have some more questions, ask them right now in the stream. In the chat. Sorry, not in the stream, in the chat. Oh, good. And I'm thinking about something else to say right now. And I can't think of anything. Yeah, I think that's it. Good. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope I did some good pictures today. And yeah, see you in the next tutorial on Saturday, and also the next mini live stream on Monday, and the next big live stream here on YouTube, because the mini live stream is on Facebook, my Facebook group, on next Thursday. Like every Thursday, 9 p.m. is a new live stream, about 3 hours. Okay, thank you very much. And see you soon. Bye.